Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, also known as sons on this channel, and welcome to the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Central to 10:45 a.m. Central, where we talk about current cryptocurrency news and, of course, with a focus on mining, specifically GPU mining, but we do take a look at ASICs too. Today, we have a pretty good show, actually. Today we're going to be talking about a new release from TRex Miner, not Team Black Miner of all things. So a new miner release that, I'm excited for. Excuse me, I get these frogs in the morning. And then we have basically a new information on tax policy regarding staked coins. A lot of people are finding this as positive. I do have, from the GPU mining perspective, a little bit of a maybe jealousy surrounding it. We'll talk about that. We have a blockchain bridge Wormhole basically experiencing the largest DeFi hack ever. Now, there's a little bit of an asterisk to that because there was a larger hack, but that larger hack was a white hat hack, and they basically returned the funds. We'll talk about that, of course, and go over the 10 largest DeFi hacks this today in today's show, because I think it's really interesting to take a look at these things and know which projects, have security flaws. We're also going to be talking about the 3090 Ti again. We talked about it yesterday, but now we're seeing retail listings, and unfortunately it looks like they're over $4,000 US. Then, as usual, we'll be talking about the mining profitability for the day, which is looking pretty fantastic, especially as we had a cold front blow in Texas. My rigs are running real good, you know what I mean? It's like basically having a turbo on your car in the winter. It feels that good, okay? And then we'll talk about the ASIC profitability, take a look at the mining pools, how they're performing. If you guys haven't watched the interview with the CEO of Luxor, we discussed a lot of good topics. Please wrap back around today and check it out. It's a pretty short interview. It's less than 30 minutes with tons of good information in there. So I hope you guys will go watch that. Not yet, though. Let's finish the live show. Before we get into it, of course, we are going to run the ad per usual. Today's sponsor is BT Miners. Purchasing mining equipment online can be dangerous. With all of the fake storefronts and scams, it can be hard to find a reliable source. That's why when BT Miners reached out for a channel sponsorship, I started by verifying that ordering and delivery went smoothly with a purchase of my own. If you are looking to purchase ASICs hardware from Bitcoin to Dogecoin miners, they are available for purchase on bt-miners.com. BT Miners is a trusted source by both ASICMinerValue.com and CryptoMiner.com. Follow the affiliate link in the description and use promo code FREESHIPPING2021 for free shipping on your order. Welcome back, everybody. Now, yes, we also will add in, of course, the HiveOn pool or HiveOn dashboard. Hive dashboard specifically being down. We're going to give it some time and see if it comes back up. Right now it's down. I don't have many details on it yet. So the only thing that's down, just to be clear, is going to be specifically the API for you to remote access your rigs. If I take a look at my mining, the mining is still performing. So if you have the rigs up and running, they're on HiveOS, just check your dashboard for whatever mining pool you're utilizing and confirm that you are still continuing to mine. What we have here is an actual internal server error for, of course, HiveOS and the web dashboard. That's what's going on here. It would look something like this, to be clear. And if you went to your mining pool address, it should still show all of your workers online. So if this is not showing your workers online, hopefully you named your workers better than me and you'll be able to diagnose which ones are down. So there you go. That's what you can do as we talk about it right now. But let's go ahead and get into the news today. We will continue to monitor the HiveOS situation. That being said, it's not uncommon. This has happened before. So I'm pretty comfortable with it because I know my rigs are still running and they're still mining my wallet and everything's functioning okay. It is a problem if you were trying to deploy rigs today. That being said, when I've had that problem, I just bumped to a different OS. All of the mining operating systems work pretty similarly and function really well. Simple Mining OS, which there's a tutorial on the channel for, is definitely a good option. Another one is RaveOS, especially for smaller miners, because you do get that free usage if you're mining to 2 miners, and we do have a tutorial on this channel for that. So if you're trying to deploy today and you want a mining operating system, go ahead and check one of those out. Let's go ahead and hop into the newest release of a miner today, and we have TRex version 0.25.2. Now, unfortunately, there's not a lot going on here, but what is going on is something that should be taken into account. Now, Serpent XSF has already done a video on Alphium, excuse me, and you should definitely check his channel out as far as that goes. I'll get links to you guys near the end or put them in the description. And essentially, the reason it's important to pay attention to miner updates is you can also start to catch trends. We kind of caught that TON trend, you know, the open network. And now it's looking like we might be able to catch another trend here just by reviewing these. What they did was add Blake 3 algorithm for the Alphium coin. Not only did they add that, but they also added the dual mining mode for Alphium or ALF on light hash rate GPUs. Now, TRex has been doing, of course, the dual mining mode for light hash rate cards for a while. In my humble opinion, it is severely unreliable. So I don't actually use the dual mining mode for the light hash rate GPUs that I have. I'd rather just put it like all on Alphium if I'm going to mine Alphium, right? That's how I think about it. So there is also a note here that says solo mining to Alphium nodes isn't supported. So if you want to solo mine, I believe Serpent has a video on that as well. So definitely check it out. Now we get into the big news today, and that is going to be a win for crypto stakers. IRS offers refund on untraded token rewards, and this is a pretty big deal. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Please save questions for the end. I'll definitely get to them at the end of today's show. We are not snowed in, but we live in Texas where we are iced in. So kids are home from school, roads are closed, jiu-jitsu gym is closed. I'm gonna have to go do some pull-ups on my pull-up bar and some jump rope to get my workout in today. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. In win for crypto stakers, IRS offers refund on untraded token rewards. A decision to refund taxes paid on staking rewards could have large implications for how proof-of-stake miners and stakers are taxed in the future. A decision to refund a Nashville couple taxes related to unsold Tezos tokens is set to clarify the IRS tax treatment of staked cryptocurrency. In a win for cryptocurrency stakers and miners, the IRS has offered to refund the couple taxes paid on rewards gained but not redeemed from staking on the Tezos blockchain, according to people familiar with the matter. Official court filings were made public on Thursday, indicating that a bench trial is set for March 2023, unless the case is settled following the conclusion of the discovery process in mid-March of this year. In May of 2021, Joshua and Jessica Jarrett requested a refund of $3,293 of income tax paid in 2019 for the receipt of 8,876 Tezos tokens, according to a legal complaint filed on May 26, 2021, with the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee. The couple also sought a $500 increase in tax credits for lost income. Tokens attained through proof-of-stake protocols are taxpayer created property and should not be taxed until sold or exchanged, the Gettr's argue. The complaint claims that nothing under United States law or IRS code and regulations allows for taxpayer-created property to be taxed as income. Here's the crazy part and the ramifications that we need to take into consideration as miners. It's not dissimilar from mining. If we're talking about taxpayer-created property to be taxed as income. But right now, and even last year, I think last year, luckily, like I wasn't, it's way worse this year, but just for like 3 months of mining or something, they wanted like $7,000 in just income for mining from my particular farm, which is smaller at the time. So, and then I had a whole bunch of write-offs and whatever. But this is interesting because staking, in my humble opinion, is not dissimilar from mining. They're talking about generating new tokens. They're creating new tokens, taxpayer created property. If this actually sticks, I think you have to relook at how they're taxing, in the United States specifically, on how they're taxing income from mining cryptocurrency. That's just how I see it. The decision to offer a refund, which was rejected by the plaintiffs, has potentially large implications for how proof-of-stake miners and stakers are taxed in the future. A representative from the IRS declined to comment, and the agency has not yet published any formal policy statement, which is what the Gettr's are seeking in this case. An offer of settlement is not the same as a binding precedent, according to tax and public policy excerpts. So we also have to give a huge shout out to this couple for standing strong, not just accepting the refund and moving on, but forcing a decision. And clearly the IRS is not ready to make this decision, probably because of all of the changes surrounding cryptocurrency regulation as it sits. But this is a big deal, and I think it's also a big deal for miners, and we need to pay attention to it. And at some point, the miners are going to have to say, yo, wait a second. Wait a second. If staking functions in this form, or whatever, then mining should function in this form as well. If we're specifically talking about the taxpayer created property, the generated tokens from the staking process or the mining process, right? And that's how I feel about it. It's a little disappointing from the miner's perspective, as basically I feel like it should be considered essentially the same thing. Another note about this, of course, is it does sound like your best bet for generating additional income on your mining rewards would be to take it and stake it. Take it and stake it. There you go. So, I don't know. Not financial advice. It just seems like that would be a prudent move. Let's talk about the big hack. So what we have here is essentially a bridge known as Wormhole that bridges between the Solana network and the Ethereum network. And we have basically the largest hack ever that has been attempted, succeeded, and not returned. So that's really what we're talking about here. I did initially want to say the largest DeFi hack ever on the title, but I refrained because I know that technically there's one that is larger. So it's not the largest, but it is the largest that hasn't been returned. Okay, so let's get into this. This is coming from CoinDesk. Blockchain bridge Wormhole suffers possible exploit worth over $326 million. The popular bridge for connecting Ethereum, Solana, and more is now attempting to negotiate on-chain with the hacker. One of the most popular cross-blockchain bridges may have been the victim of a hack worth over $326 million on Wednesday. In a tweet, the project's official Twitter handle confirmed that the bridge is currently down while the team investigates a potential exploit, and the official website simply reads, "Portal is temporarily unavailable." Let's open that up just for It looks like it's back up because I know they were working on getting it back up. And we'll talk about that too. On-chain analysts called attention to an $80,000 ETH transaction. I think that is still up here. Right there. Yep. From Wormhole to an address currently in possession of over $250 million worth of ETH. According to another developer, the attacker also kept 40,000 ETH on Solana, where they have been selling for other assets. In a tweet, prominent pseudonyms paradigm security researcher Sam CZ Sun is what we'll say, noted that the Wormhole team has reached out to the exploiter's address on the Ethereum network, offering a $10 million bounty for returning the funds. And I retweeted this tweet yesterday. And essentially what you have is that, let's see. So they put this in the messages on the chain, and they were saying, hey, we'll give you 10 million. But like right now, they have 253 million in that address. So I don't know. Plus more, really, because they have the other 40K on Solana still. The hack raised alarm in DeFi circles because it now means ETH has been bridged to Solana, may be unbacked. And this is what happens. So for the bridge to work or function properly, there needs to be a one-to-one supply of ETH to whatever the wrapped ETH is on Solana. And because of the potential hack and then that getting sent out, essentially what could have happened due to the hack is that you don't have a one-to-one backing of the wrapped ETH on Solana. So it's pretty bad for that network, okay? Cross-blockchain bridges often work by taking an asset such as ETH and locking it in a contract to issue a parallel asset on the bridged chain. It is not immediately clear what the ramifications for Solana lending markets and other protocols might be if the ETH issued by Wormhole cannot be bridged back to the Ethereum main chain and is now valueless. In an interview with CoinDesk, George Harrop, founder of Solana DeFi platform Step Finance, said he expects Jump Capital, which purchased Wormhole developer Certus One in August 2021, to step in to backstop the hacked ETH. If not, he added a number of Solana-based platforms that accept ETH as collateral may now be partially insolvent. Quote, if nobody backs it and the coins are truly gone, then Wormhole ETH is worth zero, and everyone who has a balance of it becomes worthless. DeFi protocols, users, and everyone, he said. In a follow-up tweet, the Wormhole confirmed a total loss of 120,000 Ethereum and said that funds would be added to the bridge to backstop the wrapped ETH on Solana. So it's clear here that they did need to back it. And in this tweet from Wormhole, they said that basically they have added over the next hours to ensure that, here we go, that the ETH is backed one-to-one. More details to come shortly. And they are working to get the network back up. Let's go see if there's any more updates as far as this goes. They did say all funds in Wormhole is back up. All funds have been restored. Let's see. Vulnerability was patched. ETH contract has been filled one-to-one, and the portal is back up. I don't know if they actually got the ETH back. So I don't think they did. I think basically all they did was essentially fill it back up so that it's not worthless for the users, which is good on them. It still means, though, that it's technically the largest DeFi hack. If you look at the top 10, we have Pancake Bunny at $45 million lost. Uranium Finance at $50 million. We have Belt Finance at $50 million. BZX at $55 million lost. EasyFi at $59 million lost. Badger DAO at $120 million lost. Paid Network at $127 million lost. Cream Finance at $130 million, and Compound at $147 million. Now, you did have this Polygon network at 610 million, but it was returned. And that's why I said technically this is the largest DeFi hack that was not returned. Pretty crazy stuff. So we'll be monitoring it. We'll see if the hacker decides to white hat it or whatever and go ahead and give the funds back in return for 10 million. That's kind of not a good idea. You wouldn't accept the money, I don't think, because I think you get in trouble for that. So I don't know if the hacker's watching, just give it back, but don't take the 10 million. I think you get in trouble there. I think that's one of those trick things they do to you. I'm not sure. Now there was more information specifically on how the hack took place. But I don't have it right now because the Medium post was taken down. It looked like it was similar to the, not the Polygon hack, but it looked like it was similar to the Compound hack, I believe. Or essentially it was through an update type thing, but I'm not too clear yet. So hopefully we'll get more information on that hack a little bit later and exactly what happened. These types of things are going to happen within the DeFi space. Unfortunately, it just shows how much longer we have until like DeFi is, I guess, immutable, right? Like that's the point that it needs to get to, and how dangerous bridges are. I know that Vitalik Buterin's already talked about how dangerous bridges are. They have the kind of the largest potential for hacks and exploitation. This is a problem. Bridges are going to have to get better, more sophisticated. I kind of made the joke of like, because there was somebody like talking about like creating a bridge, and I was like, I already tried to do a mining pool and that already had way too much risk to it. Like creating a bridge sounds absolutely terrifying to me personally. Let's go ahead and talk about the 3090 Ti delay and some more information. So Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 Ti delay likely linked to full 450 watt GA102 GPU yields. And the APAC retailers list custom models for over $4,000 US. Back at CES 2022, Nvidia teased its flagship RTX 3090 Ti graphics card and asked gamers to stay tuned for more information later that month. We are officially 3 days past January, and Nvidia seems to either have forgotten about the RTX 3090 Ti graphics card or something else has gone really bad with the new flagship. In the latest video by Moore's Law is Dead, it is reported how Nvidia has been silent with its AIB partners and hasn't communicated anything so far regarding the GeForce RTX 3090 Ti graphics card. The graphics card was meant to be announced in late January. The 27th was the last date which we knew about through the rumor mill, but that didn't happen, but neither of them saw any announcement regarding the graphics card. So what's the issue? Well, it's still a mere speculation, but MLID's source do point out a few things which we have also heard from our own sources. First of all, it was reported that the card had PCB and BIOS related issues. We talked about that already on the channel, and they were later resolved. I'm not positive they're resolved. I think it's one of those Xbox 360 things where they got a whole bunch of pallets of like bunk 3090 Ti sitting there that they need to reflow or something and fix. But the latest on the RTX 3090 Ti is that Nvidia doesn't even have enough Ampere GPUs to produce the GeForce flagship in meaningful quantities. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 Ti does utilize the same GA102 GPU that is featured on the RTX A6000. And it's been more than a year since the original GeForce RTX 3090 was launched. So one would expect that the yields over at Samsung would have gotten better. No, we already knew that the yields wouldn't get better. I was pretty sure that we've already talked about this, and all the insiders are saying that the factories aren't going to be done until 2023. And we don't even know about production as far as that goes for these memory modules. Come on. I had no expectations of that. So anyways, the RTX 3090 Ti doesn't utilize just any GA102 GPU. It will feature the full fat die with everything enabled, and it also has higher clock speeds, which is why the TGP jumped from 350 watts to 450 watts. And it looks like producing Ampere GA102 dies that hit the right clocks with the right power is proving to be a difficult task for Nvidia. Now, this is another problem that we have to talk about. Like, if they're trying to push it this far, they're just taking the current technology they have and just pushing a ton of power into it, and then forcing, it's not going to be reliable. That's what I'm getting at. Okay. We saw AMD do this when they ran out of the roadmap for ATI. It was not a pretty picture. The cards are running hot. They had tons of reliability issues. This screams the exact same thing to me. Okay. I don't think that this is going to be a very reliable card at all. It's super scary. I know I've already said this before, but it's worth restating. So anyways, let's get into kind of the pricing. But while the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 Ti's is indefinitely delayed, there are still several retailers who are listing unreleased custom models and pricing them around $4,000 US. One such retailer in Vietnam has started taking pre-orders with pricing starting from around 88 million VND for the Galaxy Gamers EX Black model, which isn't even the top model that the manufacturer will have to offer. The top model from Galaxy, the Hall of Fame Extreme, is likely to be priced at around $6,000 US or more. Upon asking our source regarding the availability in Vietnam, he stated that the buyers who pay the full price of the card can indeed get their hands on the graphics card. Full price, you mean full inflated price. All right. Also, several manufacturers of all kinds have all of their marketing ready. We have seen MSI Supreme X models being listed online, Asus Tough Gaming Package being leaked, and EVGA already has its flagship Kingpin Hybrid ready and are waiting on Nvidia's green light. So there you go. 4,000 models for entry, $4,000 for entry level, and $6,000 for top of the line model. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't even think I'll buy one for review. I don't make enough money to do that. It doesn't seem smart at all. There's no way I generate enough ad revenue to get out of that hole. I'm just saying, like, I'll take $6,000 and buy an ASIC. So the gamers can have this one. That is so insane. I mean, I know the hash rate's probably going to be good because we got the extra memory. It's not going to be that good. Like, we're talking about like 130 mega hash a second. It's not going to be that good, but it's going to be better because you get slightly faster memory. You get what 2 gigabits per second more? But this is just insane. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about mining profitability for the day. I have mine pulled up here. We're up to 0.09 ETH, feeling good, $241. And then, of course, that's going to be at like the 5.63 current effective hash rate. And then we've been averaging about 5.5 gigahash a second. I do need to work on some stuff. I also had obviously some issues here that we were troubleshooting last night, but we got it back up and everything was golden. So luckily everything was golden. We got it back up last night because it does appear that the HiveOS is still down right now. So let's go ahead and refresh. Oh, it's back up. Look at that. Look at that. Look, guys, all we got to do is go live on the channel, mention it, and then stuff changes. That's how we do it together, boys. Together. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but that was fun. All right, let's go ahead and look at profitability for the RTX 3090. All right, so we have the 3090 at $4.35 a day after power. It's a huge, I don't know why this is at 0.2 cents a kilowatt hour. Let's go ahead and calculate that back out. There we go. Yeah, knock us down to that 374. Okay. So under $5 or under $4 a day, $3.74 a day after power at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Let's go ahead and adjust, of course, the flux out. If you guys are having issues on flux, make sure on Nvidia you're using mini Z miner. You should be getting more hash rate. Flux is at $2.15 a day after power. Cero's at $2.25 a day after power. Ycash $2.19 a day after power. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit further. This is actually kind of nice. What we're seeing is Ethereum Classic start to pump up in profitability. I'm going to be honest, we kind of need it to. So I've been happy to see Ethereum Classic ticking up. We need them for these Polaris GPUs. That's what we need them for. And a lot of the AMD GPUs, pretty much anything pre 6000 series AMD GPUs, we need Ethereum Classic. And we need that option. We need an ETH hash option. So this is actually pretty good. The profitability is not terrible, right? It's a little over 50%. So seeing that there is a little confidence inspiring, especially with the merge approaching or potentially approaching. Conflux, $1.91 a day. Cortex, $1.84 a day. Ryo, which we think is a dead coin, $1.78 a day. Let's scroll down here. We got Fira at $1.57 a day. Ravencoin at $1.50. And Ergo at $1.70 a day. I'm still working on getting information from the Ergo team. He told me he almost has all of the details ready to go, and we will be doing an interview with him prior to the voting going through for EIP 27. But if you are invested in the ecosystem for Ergo and you're mining, go ahead and move your hash power to GetBlock, because they are already issuing voting tokens so you can vote on EIP 27 as you see fit. Let's take a look at the 2080 Ti, the #1 card to beat out everything else with Flux. Unfortunately, Flux is not making it today. We got Ethereum in first at $1.76 a day with Flux at $1.41 a day. And then, of course, we do have to look at the Polaris GPUs and calculate this out, and this is where it gets interesting, right? 90 cents a day after power on Ethereum. Firo, 37 cents a day. That's not, it shows second place, but due to power, it's actually Ethereum Classic that comes into third at 42 cents a day. This option is going to be extremely important because of liquidity. And just how basically, because Ethereum Classic is one of the first to get listed on a ton of different exchanges, it's going to be a lot easier to liquidate Ethereum Classic than say something like Firo or even Ravencoin or even Flux. And that's just because of kind of almost how it's grandfathered in, right? It's like a Litecoin thing, where Litecoin's just really easy to liquidate and move around, or even Dogecoin. So, which is like a funny thing to talk about, but if we're talking about kind of all the acceptance across all of the different exchanges, there's more support for Ethereum Classic. So like I said, I'm glad to see that. Hopefully that will kind of be a savior for some of the Polaris GPUs here as we know them. I did fail to mention the TON, or the open mining, the open network mining calculator for the 3090 was at $2.48 a day, not beating out ETH right now. So I think you do beat it out on the 6900 XT though still. And as you guys could see back here on the test bench, we're running TON right now on a 6900 XT. Okie doke. Let's take a look at the mining pool stats and see if there's been any huge changes recently. See if we catch anything. Bitcoin looks pretty much the same. We're at 200 exahash. Let's take a look at Ethereum. What do we got here? It's actually dropped down about 50 terahash from Monday. So that's, you know, not terrible. Not really doing anything for us though necessarily as far as difficulty goes. Ethereum Classic. So this looks to be why it's more profitable right now. Unfortunately, this huge hash rate dump off, and it's starting to climb back up. So it's not a price related thing. It definitely appears to be a hash rate related reduction in difficulty, going from the 23 terahash dropping off and then starting to come back up. Dang, but it is up in price too. Okay, so we're up in price as well at 20. What is that at? $27 US, up 12% in 7 days. That's performing pretty well. We may have to dig in and see what's happening over here on Ethereum Classic. Either way, if you're going to go mine it, don't mine on Ethermine. It's at 47.9% of the known hash rate. Hop yourself over to something else. Look, if you're on Hive already, hop on the Hive one. It's actually showing, 12%. It's finding blocks. Maybe you can go there. 2 miners. Look, that's a good option too. 2 miners, pretty good option. What else we got? We got Crazy Pool on there. They're at the top a lot. We can also check that today. We're going to do that. Solo options. Maybe that's an idea that we take a look at for Ethereum Classic. This is getting me a little excited, boys. It's a little light at the end of the tunnel there. All right, Firo. No big changes. Ergo. Still just declining in hash rate. For the Ergonauts that are remaining on the network and providing security, you're probably looking pretty good, especially if this EIP goes through and the mining rewards are reduced. This is kind of similar to the Ravencoin thing, where you hope that there's some sort of price pump with this. So, I don't know. Just a thought, not financial advice. The easiest thing to do is just mine Ethereum until it goes away. So, just to be clear. Let's go ahead and look at Flux, of course. And Flux is actually down about 0.3 mega solutions a second over its usual. Unfortunately, it looks like difficulty's still up. So that's probably what's kind of holding it back as it sits. And then Ravencoin for the coiners, for the Raveners, the ravenous Ravencoiners. It's actually up in hash rate. Was at about 1/4 of a terahash a second. Nothing crazy. The difficulty remains to be low. So there you go. It's kind of settled in right around this range. And it's up 2% in price. It looks like the biggest pumper was Ethereum Classic, which is up 12% while everything else is taking a dive. Ethereum Classic is coming in as the underdog. What? Retro Mike says that the ETC fork is tomorrow, so that could be the drop off from the node upgrades. I guess that could relate to the price increase as well too. Let's take a look at mining pool profits. We're going to look at Ethereum, and it doesn't look like, okay, Ethereum Classic also has some up here. So let's go through it. Last 90 days, Crazy Pool in first, Mining Pool up in second, and Flex Pool in third. Last 60 days, we have Crazy Pool in first, Flex Pool in second, and Mining Pool Hub in third. Last 30 days, we have Crazy Pool in first, Flex Pool in second, Mining Pool Hub in third. Last 21 days, we have Crazy Pool in first, Flex Pool in second, Ethermine in third. Last 14 days, we have Crazy Pool in first, Flex Pool in second, Ethermine in third. Last 7 days, we have Flex Pool in first, Mining Pool Hub in second, Crazy Pool in third. Last 3 days, we have Crazy Pool in first, Flex Pool in second, Mining Pool Hub in third. For the last day, Crazy Pool in first, Mining Pool Hub in second, and Flex Pool in third. Now, of course, as always, a disclaimer here is that you are going to get the most potential out of the least amount of stale shares. So check your latency to each individual pool, and that will still be a primary metric over this website. But if you have two pools that are essentially the same, go ahead and see which one is on average winning more blocks at a higher rate and paying the miners out more. That's pretty much it. Let's take a look at Ethereum Classic for the same one. Since we do see this pump, we have ZET in first, Ethermine in second, 2 miners in third for the last 90 days. Last 60 days, we have ZET in first, Ethermine in second, 2 miners in third. Last 30 days, same. Last 21 days, the same. Last 14 days, the same. Last 7 days, the same. Last 3 days, the same. Last day, Mining Pool Hub moves into first with Ethermine in second and 2 miners in third. There you go. All right. There we go. ASIC Miners. KD6 still in first. It's down a little bit today in profitability at $108 a day. And then, of course, we have the ETH hash one to talk about, 2100 mega hash, $83 a day. But you need to take into account that they will basically be able to, I guess, mine Ethereum Classic, and that's about it. Gold Shell KD5, 18 terahash a second, $72 US a day. We have the Antminer L7 here sitting around 33 bucks on Doge, but you know, if you merge mine, it'll probably be that 50 bucks a day. In a Silicon A10, which is another ETH one, KD2. Pretty much all the same stuff going on here. For the ASIC miners, the S19 Pro has still taken a pretty big hit at $14.51 a day. Not great. Now, if we look and see if that's translated into the rest of the market, into the ASIC selling market, it really doesn't look like it has. Prices have not changed on btminers.com. When I look at this one, is interesting right here. This Koi miner, 8,200 for 98 terahash. That one's interesting. I wonder if it's listed in here. Koi. No. Let's do a calculator then. SHA 256, baby. ASICs. Oh. How do I do this? Calculator. ASIC. Give me SHA. What is this? Let's see. Hash rate, 98 terahash a second at 3,400 watts. That doesn't seem bad. What? Yeah, that's going to put you above the S19 Pro with the power consumption, isn't it? This is weird. I still think the price is off, but the price is better than getting an S19 Pro, isn't it? And they have two different models going down to 83 terahash a second for $6,800. This one would be $20 a day. What's the 410-day ROI? 83 terahash. It doesn't, I think you still get the same power. Huh. Well, that's a new miner that I haven't seen. So here's the description of the Koi miner. It is for sale on BT Miners. You have three different options. You have a 98 terahash model, a 92 terahash model, and an 83 terahash model. What you have there for pricing is $8,200, $7,800, and $6,799 respectively. The description is CoinMiner is a brand new Bitcoin ASIC miner that is partnered with BT miners. Due to the hot of crypto mining market, the market price of Bitmain's miner is keeping at a high end. Therefore, we think it is time to introduce some new and trusted brand into the market. CoinMiner got a very compact design with a 92 to 98 terahash hash rate, and its energy efficiency is better than the Avalon 1246 miners, which makes it one of the most competitive Bitcoin miners on the market. We have tested these miners from CoinMiner. They are in good quality in terms of design and reliability, and we hope they manufacturing can keep up with the good quality control in the long run. Anyways, for those who think the price of Bitmain's miner is a little too high, you can give it a try on this new brand. Color me intrigued. I got some emails to send. I'd buy the $6,800 one before I'd buy a $6,000 3090 Ti. Just saying. All right, let's get into questions and answers, boys. Oh! We almost went down. Down. Oh, so Lauren said those prices don't include shipping, taxes, and customs. Yes, you do get free shipping with my affiliate code down in the description, though. And that's a big deal because they are coming from China. So, use it. All right. Remember, super chats are never required, always appreciated. First read for questions because they're the easiest to see. At Son of a Tech highlights my name in chat and for me in orange, which makes it way easier to respond to questions. So if you have a question, please tag me at Son of a Tech and it should autofill it for you and you can just hit tab to complete it and then type your message. That just makes it way easier for me. So please do so. Crypto Goat says, at Son of a Tech, have you seen the copper cooling plates made for the RTX 3080? Yes, I have. I have some. I had some. I think I took them to the farm. Hold on. They're at the farm. I have been meaning to do a video on them, but time has been quite ridiculous. M Hamma does them, and he's an awesome community member. I believe if you hop in the Rocket chat, he also is offering essentially discount codes for them, and he's working on ramping up the production for him because he said the orders are getting pretty high. That's part of the reason why also I think right now I'm talking to him about when we want to promote them, that sort of thing. As far as I can tell, they work really, really well. They reduce the temperature on the memory modules for the RTX 3000 series primarily, which is going to get you just in general higher hash rates. So definitely a good move there. Paul says, at Son of a Tech, people I tell about mining and how the taxes work assume it works how this couple's win in court suggests it should. And I'm like, no, it's actually this other way. That's really stupid. Right. Yes. So basically the way it functions right now is the day you mine it, you pay income tax. If you decide to hold it and you don't trade it out right away, then you sell it later, you also have the capital gains tax or of course loss, hopefully loss, right? To write it off. But that's pretty much how it functions. Detroit Irish says, at Son of a Tech, farmers are not taxed on the chips in their field, only the income generated when they are sold. Correct. And that is kind of like this fight this couple's doing for staking in general is super relevant and will be super important. But I think that even if it gets a favorable outcome, there is a point at which miners need to stand up and say, yo, what the heck? Guys, you guys have been double dipping on us. But once it comes to staking, you're okay with that? I'm not sure how the agencies view it right? So that's kind of the hard part, is I don't know how they necessarily view mining as differently than liquidity, providing liquidity or staking. And that distinction is going to need to be made. That's part of the regulation that needs to be done, but it needs to be across the board the same. You have to treat the stakers the same as the hardware miners, in my opinion. Zyler, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, wanted to send a super chat just because. Sincerely appreciate everything you do and how much I've learned just watching your channel. I'm glad to provide the information I learned from, well, you guys, and then just disperse it out. And then that's the way it goes, right? So large part of this is the community. Always follow me on Twitter too for more updates. Let's go ahead and see what we got as far as questions. Golden Eye forever. Nice. I wasn't ever a huge, okay, I know I'm going to get in trouble. I wasn't a huge GoldenEye fan. Because I already had a PC at a very young age. So I was already playing, I think, like Rainbow Six on the PC, stuff like that. I thought like it was really hard to like turn the character. So I always got really frustrated. I was like, why is there only one? I need a mouse and a keyboard. And you had to use those little yellow things, and my hands were always bumping each other. It was like that Dave Chappelle skit. Sir, would you please put that cigarette out? This is everybody's air, sir. And then he goes in and bumping the elbows. I don't know. Anyways, I can't do it. One of the better skits, but I was thinking about bumping my. Anyways. Tangent over. Paul says SM Attack handshake having coming up. Gold Shell HS ASIC. I do have one. I think I have to get it back online. I'm not gonna lie. So I should go up to the farm and do that today at some point and get it online. And you are correct. They are, we do have one. We already have a review of it. YouTube, son of a tech. HS box. I think. Yep, we do. You know, it didn't get a ton of views. But it was profitable at the time, and it's about to be more profitable. There's the link to the review for that one, so definitely go check it out. Corey Ford says, that's Son of a Tech. Have you checked out the TRex new release? Yes, we did at the beginning of the stream today. So we're up to date. That's why we do the stream. So one of the things that, essentially the reason we're doing the stream, like one of the primary reasons we're doing this, is because it allows us to keep up with everything that's going on within crypto, or at least as much as possible. Whereas previously trying to do individual videos constantly, right, meant like setting up, editing each individual one. At least here I can kind of clip them. I'm getting it into a workflow. We're getting more information out to the public as quickly as possible. And then of course we're still supplementing the reviews, the how-tos, etc. I do have more how-tos I need to do. I've failed on getting some out that I want to. We do have a Substack now, where I'm kind of preliminarily going to be putting like guides up with like screenshots and stuff. One of the how-tos I want to do is running the Flux, running a Minecraft server on Flux, a video version of that. I haven't gotten around to it. I do have, of course, everything listed out on my Substack if you do want to get into that. I'm also talking to them about standing up more custom solutions and moving Rocket Chat over. That being said, like I'm running out of time. That's what I feel like right now. So Pay Me in Crypto says, ask Son of a Tech, any basic tips for learning Solidity? Yes, sir, I do have some. So there is a great website called cryptozombies.io. And what you will want to do is head there. Now, a note about cryptozombies.io. It's going to assume that you have some previous programming knowledge, whether that be like Java, etc. So if you want to learn those and you really need to go into basics, then I would recommend using Code Academy. So like, for example, I've done pretty much everything on Code Academy that I can do. But Code Academy, to get your basic knowledge in if you have none. And then cryptozombies.io if you have some programming language knowledge and you just want to learn basically how to code dApps on Solidity. So there you go. That's kind of the whole basic premise. Now, a lot of my background wasn't programming or developing like in general, like with programming languages. Most of my knowledge was either like shell and then like obviously like PowerShell and then just like basic shell commands, etc. With some scripting, right? I did a lot of like PowerShell scripting. So, I wouldn't say my knowledge is really good, but just from that, as far as like the PowerShell scripting that I did for many years or whatever, popping into cryptozombies.io, it's pretty straightforward. Detroit Iris says, at Son of a Tech, you always talk about stale shares other than 0. What is good number for stale shares out of 1,000? Well, it would be a percentage rate, right? On a hotspot, I'm under 2% stale shares. I would like to be under 1%, but I haven't found a pool that I'm under 1% on really at this point. So 1% and less is what I would aim for. Daniel, what's going on, my man? Oop. Another super chat from Zyler. $5. Thank you, sir. Says, do you know anyone that messes with Brains OS for the S19 ASICs? No. I mean, part of the problem is I don't have an S19. Maybe you would check Bitsby Trippin'. I'm just barely cracking the surface in like ASICs. I feel like ASICs, I kind of just set them and forget them a lot of the times though. Pay Me in Crypto says, ask Son of a Tech, for mixed rigs and stability, do you try to go for all NVIDIA and all AMD, or will you try to go for the same VRAM size or all on one rig? The best ever is the exact same type of GPU across the board. Primarily because most of the mining OSs, if you have like a card drop off or something, it can mess up the order of the overclocks. And then you have reliability issues because all of a sudden your 6800 XT it'd be more like this. Your 6600 XT is getting the overclocks from your 6800 XT and the system just keeps crashing. Whereas like if you're, if it's an all 6600 XT rig and one of your 6600 XTs drops offline and something messes up with the ordering of the overclocks on a reboot, it's not going to be a big deal. And then you'll just know to go in for the broken GPU and replace it. And then you're still mining in the process. So preferable is the exact same model with the exact same like settings, right? That's a little harder to do once you get into tweaking each individual card, especially on the AMD side, because we've talked about like the degradation of like core voltage problems on the 5000 series, for example, where one card will run the core at 780 millivolts and another will do 740 millivolts. So there's some outliers like that. Rule of the thumb for me is like I never put AMD and Nvidia cards together, period. They just don't function well together. I also like to keep on the Nvidia side light hash rate GPUs separate from non-light hash rate GPUs. And that is because essentially what I have noticed that will happen on my 3070s, I had put a 3070 in with like a light hash rate GPU, and it kept trying to unlock the non-light hash rate 3070 which clearly caused issues, right? All of a sudden, my 3070 is mining at 45 to 50 mega hash a second, which would be a light hash rate 3070 that's unlocked instead of at 60 to 63 mega hash a second. So I don't like running those together either. Crypto Digger says, "Ask HiveOS, can you send a link again for the ASIC miner?" It should be top in the description. It's the sponsor today, so should be good there. Paul says, "Ask HiveOS, did you turn off E-cores on your 12th gen chip? You're getting one later today." No, my E-cores are on. We're actually streaming from that specific system right now. This system's been rock solid. I used to run the 5950X, which is back here. And then I used to run the 6900 XT. We did go ahead and put a 3090 in here. For content creation, the 3090 is super nice. It seems that you get more encoding options, etc. You can, for example, actually record super ultra wide, which I like to do for fun for my games, so I can actually watch super ultra wide content if I want to. You can't really do that on the AMD card that well. And then the 12900K just seems to perform super well in Windows 11. So we're using Windows 11 right now, and I like it. Now, if I was going to go Linux, I'd probably go back to, I'd probably keep the Nvidia GPU, but I'd probably go back to AMD on the CPU. Yeah. All right. We have a new member, Golden Wolf. Welcome back. I know I've seen you as a member before, so thank you. We are down on members. It's fine. Like, you just need to, here's why, just so you guys know. It's like $1.99 to unlock access to the Rocket Chat. You never have to pay it again. You can cancel it. Keeps most of the spam and bots out. Another thing that I'm doing is running the YouTube spammer tool once a day, and because there's API call issues there, but we are trying to combat the spam as much as possible, but always be careful in the comment section, okay? That's the way it's going to be. Let's see. Daniel Ring says, "That's HiveOS 3060 retail on like Newegg went way up now that the 3050 is out." Yeah. Speaking of, we do have to test the 3050 here. I'm going to be getting on that today for you guys. Some cards are starting to come down. Really, the prices should be down further. Minecrafters World says, "What do you pay per kilowatt hour in your location?" We're at 5 cents a kilowatt, 5.5 cents a kilowatt in the winter, 6.5 cents a kilowatt in the summer. Gandalf Gray says, "That son of a tech, new to the channel and mining love the content. Cool. Welcome to mining. You have been mining ETH on 2 miners and getting paid in Bitcoin and then swapping back to ETH. Am I screwing myself on taxes?" Yes, you are. What you end up doing, and here's another thing that, so first of all, talk to a tax attorney, talk to a CPA. There's probably ways around this, but one of the things that is kind of interesting is this whole new form of getting paid out in like different currencies and then like swapping back. So what you've done is you've turned that Bitcoin address into a mining income address, which means that any of the Bitcoin that's coming in is going to be taxed as income, right? And then you're going to pay the capital gains when you swap it to Ethereum. But you're also mining Ethereum. So, yeah. If you wanted to make it really easy, you would sell the Ethereum immediately or the Bitcoin immediately into US dollar and then purchase. I think you would purchase the US, or you would purchase the Ethereum with the US dollar. Talk to a tax attorney, but technically, yes, like no matter the way you cut that cookie, you're going to pay capital gains on that. So. Arcade Cup says, AsIMTech tried your suggestion on lowering clocks significantly to bring the average effective reported closer, still getting minus 50 to 55 megahash a second average versus reported. Has it gotten better, I guess? Or are you saying it's still just the same? And then that's pretty much all I have as far as that goes. It could be the miner, though, too. The miners will over-report some of them. Dan Sand says, at Son of a Tech, where do you see the stale shares percentage? So you should see it on your dashboard. For example, on FlexPool, it's right here. See, we're pretty high because we're on a hot spot. We're at 2.5% stale shares in the past 24 hours, unfortunately. But that's kind of the way it goes. Mario says, at Son of a Tech, how do you keep yourself up to date on crypto? I do a mining show every morning, and then I work out, and then I do more research, and then I'm on Twitter, and I follow a whole bunch of people, and then I try to sleep. It's hard. It's hard to keep up. Hey, Christoph Soberville, welcome to the memberships. Definitely appreciated. Rob says, at Son of a Tech, how many pull-ups can you do? It depends on what style. So to gain explosiveness, I do basically up, let go, like pop up, let go, grab, and come back down, no thumb. And those, you know, I'm between 6 and 10, depending on how many sets I'm in. So I can do like 10 in a row fresh, and then it kind of usually dips down to like 8 and then 6. Strict pull-ups, like if I'm just going ahead and like staying all the way down, I try to keep, like I said, my thumbs off because I'm training for jiu-jitsu. So like the primary goal is to do that. We're at around 20, somewhere around there. So right now I'm down to I'm 205 right now. So pull-ups are hard the heavier you are too, regardless. Peter says, at Son of a Tech, how do you feel about exact term of ETH merge in June? Can you please clarify, Peter? I don't really think I get it. Crypto Digger says, at Son of a Tech, why HiveOS? Why not MinerStat? I haven't really messed with MinerStat enough. There's no particular reason. HiveOS for me at this point is, you know, first mover, been using them a long time, very familiar with them. Raul Dixit says, at Son of a Tech, thoughts on Ethereum Classic future you see after ETH 2.0? Yeah, this is going to be an interesting play. I'm surprised on the pump of ETH Classic here recently. I'm keeping an eye on it. You know, it feels behind Ethereum, obviously, but it technically has the potential to do a lot of what Ethereum does. So there is potential there. Oh, Kurosaki asks, has alpha already been talked about? And the answer to that is yes. Daniel Ring, thanks for joining the Suns and becoming a member. You rock, my man. There is something to talk about with Ethereum Classic post ETH 2.0, and that is the fact that all of the ASICs are going to go to Ethereum Classic. There might not be any room for GPUs on Ethereum Classic when ETH merges and moves to proof of stake. Kevin Smith says, outside of tech, I know you're learning Solidity. I actually started on Rust. Why did you choose ETH instead of Solana for smart contracts? We talked about that today. Rust is great, and I do want to learn Rust. But if I look at what is being used primarily right now, it is that honestly, like a majority of all of the volume of everything is through ETH, specifically through NFTs. So I want to understand that. That's why. One step at a time. You can only do so much, right? Kurisaki's Corner says, "That's not a tech. Thoughts on ALF?" I really don't have any thoughts on ALF. Let's go ahead and see if we can generate some thoughts on ALF. ALF crypto. I know Serpent covered it. Let's see if we can figure out what it's about, huh? Let's see if we can figure it out. Blockchain version 3.0 is the first live layer 1 sharded blockchain scaling and improving on Bitcoin core technologies, accessibility, scalability, and security encountered by decentralized applications today. So literally just all the keywords. All right, got it. Alphium, give me more. So it's mineable. That makes it interesting. It does say it has option a guy. Okay, this wiki is really good. This is awesome. Let's see about the code. It said we could see the code on GitHub here. What kind of commits are we looking at? Are we getting frequent commits? Updated 1 hour ago, updated 4 hours ago. It's an active project, golden. Okay, we're good there. Let's go ahead and look at some of the other stuff. So it's sharding on Bitcoin Foundation. So it's built on BlockFlow algorithm, which delivers an efficient and practical UTXO sharding. And then inspired by distributed computing modules, it combines DAG and sharding, being much more lightweight than other sharding methods. BlockFlow also natively supports single-step cross-shard transactions, making the Alphium UX as smooth as any single-chain platform. All right, cool. Proof of less work is what they say. So POLW uses a clever combination of physical work and token economics to dynamically adjust the work required to mine new blocks, ensuring a reduced energy footprint compared to the classic Nakamoto proof of work mining, i.e. SHA-256. All right. Let's see. We got UTXO in there. We're proof of work. We have updates. We have a good wiki. I'm down. I'm down to clown. It looks good to me. Everything is there that you would want to be there. So go for it. Has potential. Siler asks about tax attorneys, and no, I don't have any good information on that, unfortunately. You're going to have to kind of do that legwork yourself. Rob says, at Son of a Tech, Litecoin, Doge moving to proof of stake. Doge moving to proof of stake. I don't know about Litecoin. And look, who's making the push and working on proof of stake for Doge? None other than Vitalik Buterin himself. So we can plan on that not being done for 6 to 10 years. Don't worry about it, bro. He's still got to get ETH moved over to proof of stake. Rob says, at Son of a Tech, what jiu-jitsu belt do you have? I'm just a white belt, bro. 7 months in, 2 competitions, 2 silvers, and a bronze. No white belt wins yet. Hopefully I'll get one this year. Oh. All right, what else we got, boys? You have a good day, Golden Wolf. Thanks for hanging out today. Brett William asked what's the pad size to repad the 3090 EVGA for the win. Not pad size. They need thermal putty. Well, and it depends on the revision. But on the EVGA website, they do now offer you to be able to purchase the putty that they use on it. So that's kind of what you have to do. Unfortunately. Up and Away says, do you still use Polygon for payments? I've never used Polygon for payments. I've only done guides on how to use Polygon for payments. I'm still on layer 1. I have extra time today because the jiu-jitsu gym closed down. So if you guys want to do a few more questions and answers, let me know. Otherwise, we can wrap it up as well. I am going to get to testing the 3050 on the new Team Black miner since it's the only one that's released official light hash rate unlock support for the 3050. I think even the 3080 12 gigabyte doesn't even have official support yet either. But I don't even have a 3080 12 gigabyte. Couldn't find one for a price I want to buy it at, unfortunately. But, yeah. Someone with I don't know, a name that I can't read says still buying 3090s. And no, currently I am not buying any GPUs. We are saving up for some Bitcoin ASICs. Let's see if we can figure out what happened on Ethereum Classic. What's in the news? $18 hours ago by Investor Place. Okay, because we saw this pump. Let's see what it's saying. Dear ETC crypto fans, mark your calendars for February 13th. Okay, 10 days. Ethereum Classic enjoyed a small uptick after a major upgrade announcement. I mean, it's not small. If you look at like, okay, this is what you guys need to pay attention to. This is really not a small uptick. This is actually kind of a big uptick. Because if we look at, coin market, there we go. If you look at coin market cap, everything's kind of down today. You have some tokens that went crazy. Whatever this shit is. Whatever happened there. Something seems broke. Yeah, it's not bad. So let's do Ethereum Classic. Seven-day. Yeah, so there's the 7-day. Not super small. Anyways, let's see. Ethereum Classic fans have plenty to celebrate today after the announced release of a new upgrade. The blockchain underlying the ETC crypto is getting an upgrade as per recent improvement proposal. Boom, boom. Give it to me. Looks like the improvement proposal is going to be ECIP 1104 Mystique EVM and protocol upgrades. Simple summary is enable the outstanding Ethereum Foundation London network protocol upgrades on Ethereum Classic network in a hard fork named Mystique to enable maximum compatibility across these networks. Add support for a subset of protocol impacting changes introduced in the Ethereum Foundation network via the London hard forks. The proposed changes for Ethereum Classic's London upgrade include 3529, which is included, 3541, which is included, 1559 omitted. And of course, part of that would be the base fee opcode 2, which is 3198, which is omitted in 3228. So they're taking the two good ones here, I guess. So alternate refund reduction and reject new contracts starting with the OXEF byte. The fee market change and bomb delay are omitted at this time as they are not applicable for Ethereum Classic. The fee market change puts the network at a long-term risk since ETC currently has a cap supply and fixed emissions. The bomb was disarmed in ETC code base in a previous hard fork. So EIP summaries in expected action. EIP 3529 alternate refund reduction removes gas refunds for self-destruct and reduce gas refunds for S-store to lower level where the refunds are still substantial, but they are no longer high enough for current exploits of the refund mechanism to be viable. Gas price should be adjusted on respective opcodes to reflect the new EVM standards. And then EIP 3541, reject new contracts starting with OXEF byte. Disallow new code starting with the OXEF byte to be deployed. Code already existing in the account tries starting with that byte is not affected semantically by this change. No future contracts shall be deployed on chain with OXEF prefix. Clients should respond with an error message. And then the ones that are omitted. So the motivation behind it is to enhance the Ethereum virtual machine's capabilities. Various opcodes shall be added to the Ethereum Classic networks, all of which have been in use on the Ethereum Foundation network since early 2021. Specific to EIP 3529, refunds are currently only applied after transaction execution. So they cannot affect how much gas is available to any particular call frame during execution. Hence, removing them will not break the ability of any code to execute, though it will render some applications economically non-viable. Gas tokens will become valueless. All right, so there you go. Immutability, standards compliance, blah, blah, blah. And then... all of the hacks on Ethereum Classic. One of the things that should happen, by the way, hopefully, is that security is going to get improved on Ethereum Classic when ETH moves proof of stake, provided a lot of the ASICs move over there. Should be interesting. All right. MC says, Ask Tech, any updates on the HNT miner? I am not getting that much, and I keep having syncing issues that I think is why. And I opened the ports. So I threw it on a guest network, and I opened the ports, and I'm still not... it's still not... it's relayed, so... It's earning stuff, but not much, if anything, like 0.03 a day type thing. Kevin Smith says, as son of a tech, do you know of any good resources for smart contract learning, i.e. a guide, the process that takes you through the workflow similar to formal education? Not necessarily. I mean, other than if you were talking about, taking a course from DAP University. I'm not a big fan of, and I think you guys probably know that from this channel, I'm not a big fan of paywalls for tutorials. I really despise that. So I think that DAPU shouldn't be doing that. I think he should just be doing the tutorials for free on YouTube personally. But he does have some up there too that you can check out. And then, like I said, we already talked about just learning basic Solidity with CryptoZombies.io, and we linked that earlier. Rob says, that's son of a tech. Do you have any ASIC miners? Yes, I have an L3 Plus. I have Gold Shell HS. There's a review on the channel. I have a Gold Shell. Let's see. What else? HS. We have the Gold Shell. LB box, which is the library. We have the mini Doge, specifically the Voss coin one. That's the only free miner I've ever gotten for review. So thanks to Vosk for that. And then we have Z15, which never came back like I was hoping it would. T Gig says, did you go over the Texan miner who said they are closing shop for the winter storms? No, I didn't. That's interesting. We haven't had any power issues at this time. So let's see. Ertana says, Flexpool and HiveOS estimates gone up about 10%. Has anyone else noticed that? Yeah, it's gone up. Kevin Smith, thank you for the $5, my good man. Mario, welcome to the Suns on YouTube. Thank you for joining. Yeti says, that's son of a tech. I have a line on 258 terahash AMP miners T17 plus. He is asking 5,800 for the pair. What do you think? I mean, I'm going to do the same thing that like you could go do, right? Which is like, okay, let's go look at what that makes, right? So T15. I'm leaning towards yes, because the price is good, I guess, but let's go ahead and see. T15 plus, right? Is that what you said? It's got to be the T17, right? Yeah, sorry, my bad. T17. T17 plus, 64 terahash. $5.30 a day. If we were looking at BT miners, I think they go for quite a bit more, 3,800. So you're getting a decent deal, right? Plus then you would do like, so calculate out an ROI for fun. It would be 5,800 divided by what, 10? It's 580 days. You would technically make more purchasing their new little coin miner here. Better ROI. I think it's like 400 days for these. So I don't know, but I haven't tried these yet. Let me get an email out and see where we're at. The Helium miner is synced, Mr. Solo. It's just not performing well. Power Trip says, at Simatech, what should I pay for a 5700 XT, and when do you think I should purchase it? Right now, I mean, like, complete honesty, straight up front, I have very low confidence in AMD profitability post proof of stake for Ethereum, right? So I would be leaning towards Nvidia primarily because I have more faith in more mineable coins on the Nvidia side. So I don't know that I would purchase a 50, like Me personally, like I bought all mine for about 300 a pop, so I'm good at buying them at 300 a pop. If that's fair. L Dude says, at Son of a Tech, how's the weather? It's 32 here in San Antonio. Yep, pretty much the same. It's cold. Lucas says, my 6600 keeps getting errors in HiveOS, which results in the whole rig stopping mining. Any clue why that happens? Turn off your overclocks and see if it still happens. If it is, then check, of course, like your risers. Make sure you're getting enough power to the card. All of that. Polytech says, at Son of a Tech, in my opinion, everything comes down to fundamentals, and that's why all of these projects keep going up and then coming down. Raven gets the fundamentals exactly right. Do you agree? No, not necessarily. I mean, I guess if you said like fundamentals as far as like no emissions, proof of work, etc., we could say like, sure. But I mean, Bitcoin does that. Like I just go to Bitcoin. During Yen says, thanks for all the info. How's the back? It's good. I rolled it out. Yesterday was my day off, so from rolling in jiu-jitsu. So I just did chest day, some ab work, and sauna. Hey, DJ Mines is in the chat. Thanks for joining. Make sure you guys go follow DJ Mines. I'm going to do boom. There we go. I added you as a moderator, Mr. DJ, so share your channel out. Make sure you guys go follow DJ Mines for some more cryptocurrency mining content. Pay Me in Crypto says, West Austin here, you're getting brief light flickering. See, you need that renewable energy, bro. Maybe some hydro. Rob says, what pools are you using for the ASIC miners? I'm using Poolin. There's guides on the channel. Waz, good to see you, man. Says, at Son of a Tech, reply, HNT, what miner did you get? You running with the stock antenna. Main trick is to get a better antenna and get it up high. Yes, I have the stock antenna. I know I need to order a new one. If you want to ping me whatever antennas are good, I was trying to figure that out. I did go put it in the attic, and then it's just the gold, it's the MNTD. I don't know. Anyways, I should do the review on it because then we could get some more help, I guess. Kevin Smith says, that Son of a Tech, any tips for Splinterlands? My son just started playing. No, not really. What's Splinterlands? Oh, it's a card game? It's an NFT card game. I haven't played that one yet. I'll add it to my list. What network is it on? Uses Hive engine. I don't know. I've been enjoying Gods Unchained, but I haven't played this one, so no, I don't know much about it. Arcade Cup says, at Son of a Tech, which miner program do you use with Hive while mining ETH for your Nvidia cards and then AMD? So it depends on what you're mining. Because like Flux, you want to use MiniZ. And then LOL miner usually for ETH. It's Wax. Okay, thanks, Talon. Apparently Wax. I don't even know. I haven't heard of that, so I have to look into it more. Jeff Rodriguez says, "Ask Son of a Tech any upgrades done to the motorcycle." So the cartridges are replaced with 2018 FZ09 cartridges, so you have compression and rebound on both shocks. Then I have the stage 3 suspension, like a rear shock upgrade, and that's it. That's all you really need on the FZ09. It pops wheelies just fine. The suspension was a little shitty. I may get a computer system to get rid of some of the throttle lag, but that would be about it. Like a chip upgrade. Polytechnical says, or Tuckle87 says, "Ask Son of a Tech, are you familiar with Ravencoin's asset layer and how it operates? It's much more useful than Bitcoin in almost every conceivable way." Man, we've talked about Ravencoin a lot. I am aware of the asset layers, and yes, we're talking about essentially Bitcoin fundamentals with some of the programmability of like Ethereum. We're aware. But it's getting a little chilly up in here, bro. Latrell says, "Thanks for the long stream, helping you get through work. I hope you're enjoying work." Zevo says, "Ask Son of a Tech, question about power. What were you paying per kilowatt hour when you had your rigs at the house? Were you able to get a business rate at your residential?" You cannot get a business rate at your residential. At that time I was in San Antonio. It was 8 cents a kilowatt hour, and before we left it had gone up to like 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And because we were using so much power, we were also starting to get penalties. So we cut our power bill in half by moving. And then that other half is just essentially used to pay rent, right? So Yeti Crap says, "Ask Son of a Tech, would you run your ASICs through Hive?" I haven't been running them through Hive. Seems like a waste of time. Like, hook it up, hit the console, set it, go. Forget it. Done. Living Our Destiny says, "Ask Son of a Tech, Canadian crypto laws are similar to what staking article was talking about, not changed until you convert to fiat." Right, yep. Now, Canada does have higher taxes per bracket, right? So it's a give and take. Talon says, "Ask Son of a Tech, it's Hive actually, sorry, but you can stake from a Wax wallet. Their staking system is pretty cool. The game is fun too." Cool. I'll try to play the game. It's like hard to jump around all these games though. I didn't like Axie Infinity. I thought it sucked. It was boring. I didn't like it. I did not like Axie Infinity at all. Yeah, I think I'm going to get to testing the RTX 3050 for you guys. I'd like to get that video out today. And then what else do we need to get done? Obviously, I have enough here to like... It's always weird because I got to write down what I want to do and then just start doing it one by one. Make sure you guys watch the interview with the CEO of Luxor. There's interesting stuff there. There's definitely some things I disagree with. Like, I don't like, it sounds like they don't really, the articles that are written around it and the posts that are written around like Luxor and Hut 8 and their advocacy group are like, okay, we got an advocacy group. We're going to convince Ethereum to not move to proof of stake. And like kind of asked about that and what the plans were. And it's clear like they do not have plans. They have zero details ready to go. The likelihood of them even coming up with a plan before ETH moves proof of stake seems low. So, I don't know. seems low to me. And the launch of an Ethereum mining pool right now seems very odd to me as well. Now, I did notice when I mentioned Flux, he wrote something down. So I'm wondering if Luxor is going to launch a Flux deal. Techie Rod in the house. No worry about the oversleeping. Welcome, dude. Lethargy says, regarding business electricity at a residential location, check your local area. If you can run a legit registered business out of a residential location, you may be able to get a commercial rate. You could, but it's usually also, part of the commercial rates is also based on like location. But if you were out, like, I don't know, if you were further out, I think there's a better possibility there, right? But if you're like in like a typical house with an HOA and all that, I don't think you'll be able to. That's it. Call it Fluxor. All right, boys, I am going to call it for today. Yeah, dual zoning, said MC. I'm going to call it for today on the live stream. Hope to see you guys tomorrow, 9:45 a.m. Central to 10:45 a.m. Central. I also have to build this test bench for this side, too. I need to get some shelving in here as well, but we'll get on. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. By the time I'm done with everything, I feel like we're out of time every day, but we'll get there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Tuesday.